Alright guys, I have a battle here with my longtime rival and friend PKSparkxx, also known as Dat Hotness on YouTube, and I asked him for a battle. I kind of wanted to get a battle with him earlier during those stretch that I posted those battles, but I wasn't able to get a hold of him, but now I finally was, so here we go. He always uses these really defensive sets, and I know this battle is going to be a grind, just because I'm playing him. I lead with my ESBN, my Espeon. He goes into Crobat, and I make a pretty poor play right off the bat and stay in, despite I knowing that Crobat is a lot faster than Espeon. I just try to go for the Psychic, but he U-turns in Empoleon, and Empoleon's going to take the Psychic, not too nicely, but nicely enough, and going to be able to finish off my Espeon with Aqua Jet. So right off the bat, I'm doing pretty bad. I already lost one Pokemon, and have to make sure that this doesn't keep happening. Alright, so I go into my Magikarp, hoping that he doesn't have, like, the Hidden Power Electric or something. And he goes out into Mentos, because I guess he doesn't have that. So I just get a free Dragon Dance, and I go for a Taunt. Now, PKSparkxx, probably battled me enough to know that my Magikarp carries Taunt, which is why he probably doesn't go for Thunder Wave or something like that. But he also has Thunder Punch, and I'm like, Thunder Punch? I didn't even know Registeel could learn Thunder Punch, grumpy face, and now I have to switch because I don't really want to lose Magikarp this early, my Gyarados. So I go out into Dragonite, and Dragonite has multi-scale, so that Thunder Punch is just going to tickle me. Yeah, it doesn't even do as much as my Leftovers recovery. So I'm going to get up some Dragon Dances now. He's still taunted, so I feel pretty safe doing this. He's going to go for a Seismic Toss, which, attack that always does 100 damage when used by level 100. So, yeah, I get some Lefty's recovery, but his taunt wears off, and I'm just going to go for a Fire Punch, hoping and just seeing how much it does. I know I probably wouldn't kill it at this point, only one Dragon Dance. And he does go for the T-Wave, which kind of sucks, but, Dragonite, my bulky Dragon Dance Dragonite, is probably like the only Dragon Dancer that doesn't really care if it's paralyzed too much. I mean, he does care, but it's like, whatever. I can still, use my bulk and, power just to overwhelm people. So he's going to set up the Stealth Rocks, which, he has to set them up. So that's pretty good play. He goes for a Seismic Toss now, and I'm still going to just tickle Dragonite, and I'm just going to get up another Dragon Dance. I do have Roost on this guy, so I'm not really worried about him withering me down. In fact, I'm not really afraid of this Registeel at all. The only way it'll kill me if I get like 3 Parahacks in a row, which would be quite unfortunate. So here comes another Seismic Toss, and I think I do get paralyzed here, and yeah, so I'm not able to do anything. I was actually, I think I was going for another Dragon Dance. So, yeah, now I'm just going to go for a Roost, because I don't want to really risk it too much, because I do have the upper hand here. So he goes for another Seismic Toss, and I think I get the Roost off this turn, and I do. So, as soon as he sees the Roost, he's like, well, F, and he knows he has to switch. So that Registeel isn't going to be Dragonite, because I have a Roost. Anyway, I go into, I just go for a Fire Punch, kind of hoping that he wouldn't switch, but he makes a pretty good play and switches, and he goes into his Luminaire, or whatever, it's, I don't know how to pronounce that, it looks French or something, ew. Anyway, it's a Chandelure, and it does have Flash Fire, so he's going to get boosted now, and that kind of blows, and I don't really know what this thing's going to do. He ends up going for the sub, and I'm just going to go for a Dragon Claw, but I end up getting paralyzed again. Man, I've been getting a lot of Parahacks with this Dragonite, and I'm kind of upset. So anyway, he's going to go for a Shadow Ball, I believe, and that's going to do actually pretty good damage, and I'm just going to break the sub now. And at this point, I'm like, well, I really don't feel like switching, so I'm just going to keep going for the Dragon Claw. Maybe he'll do something and overpredict, I'm not really sure. And he actually goes for the Shadow Ball this turn, instead of setting up another sub, which would probably been the safe play. He's setting up subs and waiting to, to get a Parahacks. But I guess he doesn't like those odds, and just goes for their Shadow Ball, which does cripple my Dragonite. But I do get the Dragon Claw off, and at +2, I guess he maybe was hoping he would be able to survive, but a +2 Dragon Claw is pretty damn powerful. And that is a dead Chandelure. At this point, though, I'm lower than 100 HP, and I'm worried he's going to go out into Registeel, but he does not. He ends up going into Empoleon. And I go for the Roost because I can't switch out due to the Stealth Rocks. I wouldn't be able to survive the switch-in. And he ends up using Avalanche, which is a move that always goes last. That's a huge misplay for him. I don't know if he thought maybe I was above 100 health, so that's why he didn't want to go into Registeel to finish me off with Seismic Toss. or maybe he just forgot Avalanche, always went last. I'm not really sure. He goes for a Swords Dance, which is not a bad play, but I'm going to get off another Roost, and now I'm at pretty darn good health, and I'm not really afraid of an Avalanche because I'm pretty sure I can kill him at this point. Maybe with a Fire Punch, which, and since Avalanche always goes last, I'm not really worried about it. So I go for a Fire Punch. I end up getting a critical hit. I'm not sure if it mattered. If it did, that sucks for him. But either way, that Empoleon is gone. I don't really know if a +2 Fire Punch could have killed. I'm guessing it could have, but I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, so now he goes into Crobat, his starter, and he's going to go for the Acrobatics, and he does have the Air Gem, but thanks to my Multiscale, I was at full health. That does nothing. It does a little over a third, I think. However, he survives my +2 Dragon Claw. He loves these bulky sets. I think he said this Crobat was carrying some HP and maybe defense. I'm not sure. I know he was carrying some bulk. Either way, I'm just going to go for a Roost to heal. And at this point, I realized, though, that the amount of damage that Acrobatics is doing, I really, if I could get screwed over by Paralyze hacks. So I just really need to finish off this Crobat. I get another Paralyze here, so I'm a Paralyze away from dying. I mean, I could try to stall him out with Roost and end this with a decent HP, but I decided just to finish it off. I don't want to risk, a pair of hacks just messing me up. So I killed the Crobat, and now he is going to go into Registeel and just go for the Seismic Toss to get rid of Dragonite. But you know what? Dragonite really did its job in this battle. It took out, I think, 3 of his guys and just was a menace, despite being paralyzed. So good job, Dragonite. He deserves a well-deserved rest. Anyway, so here comes Gaia, my Torterra, one of my favorite starters in Pokemon in general. I love Torterra. I think it's probably my favorite starter of that generation, in fact. It's a shame that he is not used so much in competitive battles, but I decided to give him a try here against PKSparkxx. I figured that the Leech Seed would be helpful against, his relative bulk. And it does seem to be giving me the upper hand here against Registeel. So he goes out now into Deoxys defense. And, yeah, I do know this is Uber. He did not know, and, we're friends, so it's like, whatever. I'll make an exception. You can use Deoxys defense. I mean, I'm not going to make a big deal of it. Please don't make a big deal and, oh, he's a cheater, blah, blah, blah. He didn't know, and I didn't know. Both of us have been out of the game for a little while. I had to actually look it up to see if it was Uber or not, because I honestly wasn't sure. But it is, and he's a cheater, but don't say that to his face, because it's not nice, and he didn't mean to. Anyway, I have no idea what this guy's going to do, so I just stay in and get poisoned, so he does have the Toxic. I am able to get the Leech Seed, though, so that's not so bad. I'm going to switch out now into Sniper, my Scizor. It's my bulky Swords Dance Scizor, and I do have Bug Bite, so I'm not really too afraid of Deoxys. He's going to go for the Nightshade, which does some damage, but he's still Leech Seeded, which pretty much means that Sniper can set up on this guy. He can't really do enough damage with Nightshade to really matter, and I do have Roost on top of it, so even if he did, I feel pretty darn good about setting up my Scizor against this Deoxys defense. I can't get Toxic, of course, because I'm a Steel type, so there's not a whole lot this Deoxys can do to me, especially when its only attack move, it seems to be Nightshade, which does 100 damage, and I have Roost, so that's a pretty nice thing. So I set up the Swords Dance, and I so want to stay in. I don't have a fighting move, but I want to stay in, but I know I shouldn't, because I do know that Snorlaxes can carry Fire Punch, and I'm just worried about it. So I decided to go out into Infernape just to see what he's going to do. He ends up going for the Earthquake, so that ends up screwing myself over a little bit, because Earthquake's going to pretty much destroy Infernape. I actually survive it, but just barely, and yeah, that kind of sucks. I was kind of thinking he would have a Fire Punch if he was going into it against Scizor, because, Scizors can carry, fighting moves, so I'm not really sure what he was doing, but either way, I'm just going to go for the close combat. He ends up going to Registeel, which is kind of shocking. I figured if he would have predicted close combat, he would have probably went into Deoxys, but, that's pretty cool. Anyway, he survives my close combat, which is ridiculous. This must be a heavily defensive Registeel, because this is Choice Band Scizor. Choice Band. Man, Registeel's a beast, let me tell you that. I have no idea how he survived a Choice Band close combat. Anyway, I am able to 2-hit KO it, and he's going to go out into Deoxys. I do have another switch in with Infernape. I can switch him in one more time past the Stealth Rock, so I decided to save him for later. He goes for a Nightshade on the switch, which I'm not really too worried about. I mean, Torterra, while poisoned, isn't really too helpful, but I can get up another Leech Seed on this and maybe switch out into Scizor to set up again. Now that I know that the Snorlax does not have Fire Punch, I'm not too afraid of it, and I'm pretty sure, looking at the rest of his team, I can probably set up my Scizor and sweep him. I just have to play it right. So I get up another Leech Seed. He's going to keep withering down my Torterra, which is a pretty good play. And I'm taking too much damage from poison, so I pretty much have to switch out this turn, and which is okay, because I did set up the Leech Seed, so I feel okay switching out into Scizor. He predicts my switch and also switches into Snorlax. And I'm still kind of afraid of this. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's actually wait for the video to catch up. So here comes this Snorlax, and here comes my Scizor. And as I'm saying, I'm still kind of afraid of the Snorlax, because I don't know why he thinks the Snorlax can take care of my Scizor. I'm really kind of scared. I don't know why. I guess I might have pretty good attack. I don't know. But I switch out, because I know he's going to use Earthquake, so I'm figuring, you know what, I'll go into Torterra just to take it, and, you know, getting a Leech Seed off on the Snorlax isn't so bad, because Snorlax has such a ton of HP. It's like one of those things you just feel good about setting up a Leech Seed on it, because like, oh yeah, I'm going to get so much healing every turn. It's almost as good as setting up a Leech Seed. Okay, maybe not almost as good, but it's similar to setting a Leech Seed up on Blissey. Anyway, so he's going to go for a Body Slam, and that's going to kill my Torterra. I go out in a Rage, and I'm really thinking he's going to go out in Deoxys, predicting my close combat here, but he does not. So my U-turn is pretty much wasted, and now I can't go back into Invernape, so that sucks. I still get a U-turn off, and I decide to go out into Scizor. I know he's probably going to use Earthquake, and I'll take some damage from that, but I know I should be able to heal a lot with leftovers plus the Leech Seed. So that Earthquake doesn't do anything after the Leech Seed recovery, so that's really awesome. I don't know if he's going to switch or what here. I decided just to go for the Roost just to be safe, but he ends up switching into Deoxys, which means my Roost is going to take me all the way to full HP, and as I said, I feel really comfortable setting up on this Deoxys, and now that I 100%, like 99% sure that Snorlax is not carrying Fire Punch, I'm not really scared of it at all. So I am just going to set up the Swords Dance. I believe I can kill it once it comes back in, takes another, round of Stealth Rock damage, and I have +2 attack thanks to Swords Dance. So let's see what happens. So here comes Snorlax. I do set up a Swords Dance, and his health is really low at this point. I pretty much know he's not going to survive a +2 Bullet Punch from Scizor, and no, he does not. That is a dead Snorlax. His last Pokemon is Deoxys Defense, which I have Bug Bite, so that is pretty much good game. He ends up going for the Recover because he outspeeds me, but then I go for the Bug Bite, and that does a lot at +2 with Technician, and, stab and weakness and all that. I end up getting a crit, but it doesn't really matter. He might have survived this one Bug Bite, but he's not going to survive the second, probably. And it's just been a stall fast with Recover and Bug Bite, so it's probably a positive thing I just got the crit there. So rate, comment, subscribe, guys. Thanks for watching. So I'm going to use this question of the day to shamelessly plug in a game I've been really anticipating called Starbound. It's kind of like the spiritual successor to Torterra, but in space. So today's question of the day is, what game are you really looking forward to? Starbound is mine. It looks amazing. If you haven't heard of it yet, check out their website at playstarbound.com. It really looks like it's going to come along. I think the beta is coming out later this year, as well as the game itself, so you can pre-order it. Just check it out. I really think it's awesome. I'm just shamelessly plugging in Starbound here. But anyway, rate, comment, subscribe, and leave a comment about one game that's going to come out recently that you're looking forward to. I guess it could be Pokemon X and Y. But anyway, see you guys later. Bye.